wakes up in the morning, it's on dance. A little white cloud, it's like a gambling night. And I am a breathless soul, and the reckless little robin feels the winds as a brood that tumbles when he sings. Oh, he's a helpless faithful, and a happy hope bells bow on the bend of day.
Chris? Neil?
Good morning and welcome. Is my voice heard back there? Because you're going to hear voices of two people who are very much in love in a little while. That's more important than my voice, but I think we are so much part of something extremely special today. This is a really sacred moment. It's a precious moment. We have left everything aside, and added to that, there's no electricity on today at present, so it's going to start later. So that's, I mean, a really positive start. But being a Boy Scout, I did have the sound system, so we're right. But I do want to welcome you. You come from near and far. You come from that great country, the land of the long white cloud. I better not talk politically, but I do love your Prime Minister. That's the only political point I know. But having said that, I want to welcome all you Kiwis. I also want to welcome people that come from other countries like the US. Won't talk about presidents here though. The US, England, and all that, wherever you've come from. Some have come from interstate. Perhaps most of you are from Sydney, and a very special couple are from B Crop, of course. So this is a moment that belongs to all of you. Now, it's also important to know something about Hamish and something about Sarah. It started back in February 2014, a long time ago, but time, as you know, is relative. It happened near one of the two main icons of Sydney, the Opera House. A date had been fixed up, and Hamish arrived on time, Sarah didn't. The place was the Opera House, but that's a bit misleading because I should put a word before there. It was the bar of the Opera House. And that was where they had their first meeting, and a little while afterwards they realised that their friendship was even more than friendship. They were in love. They went to Cambodia, and if on his knees, next to his knees, he proposed to her at one of those ancient Cambodian temples. And guess what? She accepted. So it's interesting. That sort of story tells us something incredibly romantic, mystic. Wouldn't use the word ascetical, but mystic, but certainly. And it also tells us something about Hamish and about Sarah. I asked them some of their values, and one of the values was that sense of curiosity. Well, going to Cambodia to propose there is curious, but it's something that is also very perennial because the Asian mind is a very beautiful mind. They love fun, they love humour, they love the deep search for the creative aspects of life. They love their family, they love their friends, and they have this deep trust in one another. They chose today, Bilu, because they liked it. So, what we're going to say, and using a bit of poetic license, Bilu is the cathedral of the world. And that is why all of us are going to enjoy it. Now, when Hamish proposed to Sarah, something really powerful happened. Because as you know, they've shared a relationship for a long time, and in that time they've developed a profound and a loving respect for each other. And the secret to the success of their relationship has to do with the fact that they've always been friends. Their acceptance of each other as they are, and the determined stance, acceptance as they are, and the determined stance in overcoming any obstacles that might confront them. And one of the most beautiful parts that you will realise more and more, as you know them and get to know them all the more, they've shared the beauty of the past. They share the ecstasy of this moment with the two people we love, and they're going to walk into the future knowing that your love, your affection is always going to be with them. And I must tell you there's something extra special in today's wedding, because Hamish and I were classmates. I was a slow learner. And we're in the same football team, sort of. So there's another connection. But when he introduced Sarah to me, I said to him, very discreetly, "You've got the jackpot." And I have more romantic words than that, but that was the end of it. Now, they've picked two beautiful readings. Now, the first reading, oh, by the way, Petra, you look beautiful. There's only one person that best you today, though. And you need to get closer to Sarah now. And Nathan, he was a classmate of mine too, and again, I was a slow learner. Nathan is a very special guy. We used to walk the corridors of St Aloysius together, didn't we, Nathan? Yeah, so. Now, something really important here. And the first reading, Fiona, where are you?
Hello.
Fiona's going to share a most beautiful reading, and being a fan, hopefully not a dilettante, of Shakespeare, his sonnet. The sonnet that Fiona, in her beautiful voice, is going to read to us. It's about love in the ideal form, a bit platonic in a way. The glories of lovers who come to each other free, a relationship based on trust and understanding. And that's what your relationship is based on, Sarah. Trust and understanding. And if you listen to the first 4 lines of the sonnet, the poet's pleasure that is constant and strong talks, it will never alter. Fiona, will you share with us? I want everyone to hear it.
Thank you very much. This is Shakespeare's sonnet 116. Let me not the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not loved, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is a star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's full, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out, even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved.
Fiona, it was beautifully read, first of all. I can see you're a wife too, and I'm just going to say, would you remind your brother and his wife every year to read that to one another?
No.
But you're not a wife.
She's a wife.
Oh.
I'm not attached to anyone
Well, I
today.
messed that one
Well,
up,
I am
and
attached, but not.
Well, anyhow. I messed that one up, but it's a compliment to you. Look, my name... Now, we've just come to a bit of a formality here. My name's John Hill, and I'm duly authorised by law to celebrate marriages according to law. So, Hamish Reese McDade White and Sarah Jane Prestwood, before you are joined in marriage, in my presence and in the presence of all of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and the binding nature of the relationship in which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of two people to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. But Hamish and Sarah, before you make your vows in front of your family and your friends, I'd like to speak to you of some of the things that we wish for you. We wish you long life, good health, the continued richness of your relationship until the end of your days on this earth and into eternity. We wish you love and peace, and the spiritual tranquility that comes with knowledge, understanding and acceptance of yourselves as worthwhile human beings. We wish for you a home, wherever you might be, no matter where you travel or when, a place of shelter and warmth, where you may live together and nurture your love for each other. And we wish that this home shall be both a symbol of your living together and a deep well of happiness from which you will draw great strength. You share today the joy of a deep commitment, a sacred trust. You have given to each other the most precious gift of love. Treasure it, nurture it, and encourage it with all the honesty that you used in creating it. Knowing that you're ready and willing, in a few moments, I'm going to ask each of you in turn if you are prepared to take one another on this lifelong journey. And I think at a moment like this, a very precious moment, as Sarah prepares to make public her love, she turns to you, Christine, and to you, Neil, as a mum and dad, because she acknowledges that you were the first teachers of love in her life. And she, in this moment, wants to say thank you for who and what you have been. And she also wants to mention her grandparents, John and Claire, who are not here today. They are here spiritually and psychologically. And as Hamish, my dear classmate, prepares to make his vows to Sarah, Sean, he turns to you and to David to say thank you for being the best parents his son could ever want. And he acknowledges that. I'm going to ask you, Sarah, and you, Hamish, to face each other. And look closely into each other's eyes. Don't look at me, look at each other over here. You can even hold the other hand, by the way. So, Sarah, will you take Hamish to be your husband? Will you love him? Will you honour him all the days of your life?
I will.
Hamish, will you take Sarah to be your wife? Will you love her? Will you honour her all the days of your life?
I will.
And now we come to the vows. Now, as I said earlier, Hamish and Sarah have already made vows in their heart. But you are the privileged people to hear them make public what has been in their heart going all those days back to Cambodia and before. And the vows that they make, they reach from and they speak to the heart, and they advertise the love that has brought Sarah and Hamish together. These same vows now, they draw a blueprint for the love that they're going to nurture for the rest of their lives. And as they make their vows, I'd like all of you who have made vows in your own life to renew those vows in your heart as you listen now to the words of Sarah and Hamish.
I call upon the persons here present to witness that I, Hamish, take you, Sarah, to be my wedded wife. I promise to be strong, just as I draw strength from you and our union. I promise to be patient and caring, and even more so when you face challenges, and depend on those qualities the most. I promise to be tidy. At least tidier than I've been in the past. I promise to continue to share with you joy and curiosity which brought us together. I come to this place not as an excitable youth, but someone who has learned the value and the rarity of our friendship, which I promise to always uphold.
I call upon the persons here present to witness that I, Sarah, take you, Hamish, as my wedded husband. I promise to stand by you, always have your back, be a loyal and honest friend, your number one supporter in life. I promise to show kindness and compassion, laugh with you at life, and hold tight when things get tough.
A lovely little ritual that follows the vows, which were so beautifully said. It's the ritual of the ring. It goes back some 1400 years. And Nathan, you are the bearer of gifts. You're the ring bearer. We'll call Nathan Lord of the Rings. The ring is round like the sun, like the moon, like arms with embrace. The ring has no beginning, it has no end. And when we look at you, Sarah, we look at you, Hamish, we realise the significance of these rings. They signify the integrity, the constancy, and the eternity of your love. The ring is the symbol of unbroken love, and it symbolises the reciprocal nature of the love that exists between the two of you, flowing from one to the other in a circle, continually and forever. And as Hamish and Sarah give these rings to each other, I'd like all of you to make a wish on these rings, or give a blessing, or say a prayer, because you journey with them with your love and your affection throughout their lives.
Sarah, with this ring I thee wed. Take and wear it as a pledge of my love and as a symbol of all we share.
Hamish, with this ring I thee wed. Take and wear it as a pledge of my love and as a symbol of all we share.
There's a wonderful little symbolic act that Hamish and Sarah wanted for our ritual. It's the marriage candle. And I'm going to ask Nathan, would you look at the candle there? And I'm going, what it is, it's symbolic that from diversity we create oneness. One moment in life, Sarah and Hamish met. They've created something new. They've come from different families, different countries. They've come together and integrated two families into one. And I'm going to ask Sean and Christine, you have the role of lighting those candles because you represent each family. I'm going to have a problem see if I can light it. There's no wood in it. while they're holding the candle, is a very beautiful reading from a book called the Song of Songs, the Book of Solomon. It's in the Old Testament. And just have a look at Sarah and Hamish with the candle of unity. They've come together with the water. The water is the gentle element. And it goes something like this. Set me as a seal upon your arm, as a seal upon your heart. For love is as strong as death. Many waters cannot quench love. No flood can ever quench true love. And that is what we are part of today. And you being here, you strengthen that with your presence. We're going to have a second reading now, and it's a reading from Captain Corelli's mandolin. It's not quite as majestic, but it's as forthright as Sonnet 116. It's a beautiful reading, and when this is read, Siobhan, the Irish names, I always can spell Siobhan well, I'll just mind for 1 second. But Siobhan, when you read that, you might put this, and race it to your new course.
A reading from Captain Corelli's Mandolin by Louis de Bonnet. Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your root was so entwined together that it is inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness. It is not excitement. It is not the promulgation of promises, of eternal passion. That is just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love is burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground. And when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one tree and not two.
Siobhan, you read that like a true white. Brilliant. Thank you for that. There's something in that reading that's so powerful. It's that love is more than passion. You can only be lovers unless you're first friends, because friendship is the thing that stays with you all your life, and that accompanies love. And that was beautifully read. I'm going to give a blessing. We're coming towards the end of our ceremony. In a little while we've got to break bread, drink wine, and have a feast, and that's part 2 of our ceremony. But there's a little blessing that I'm giving Sarah and Hamish. It's your blessing, and you've asked me, indirectly that is, to give it. So Hamish and Sarah, be the greatest friend to one another. Turn every night into a song. Turn every day into a garden. Turn every quarrel into a fine harvest of understanding. Hamish and Sarah, may your journey together be the adventure that life was always meant to be. May you never lose your laughter, your playfulness, and your music. May you always be the wise children of the earth. And may you always remember it is compassion that is the chief law of human existence. So, Sarah and Hamish, may your love for each other, which we've seen so clearly in this ceremony this morning, help you find that hidden gold in the unfinished hours of a beautiful life, fully shared in each other's presence. I'm going to turn to you, Sarah, and I say thank you. And turn to you, Hamish, and I say thank you. And we thank Hamish, we thank Sarah, because in their heart, which is overwhelming with joy, they want that joy to be part of our lives. They want that joy So much so that we put it in our pockets, we take it home, and we can always be reminded that life is beautiful. And we saw that when they made their vows, when they exchanged rings, and when they made promises to each other. I know, I can see it on your faces, that I've got their consent, your consent. It's indeed my privilege now to declare Sarah and Hamish wife and husband. Now, to prove that everything took place, we've got a barrister here, remember that. To prove that everything took place, we're going to do a little bit of signing, and then after the signing, I'm going to present to you a fabulous couple. So stay where you are, I've got music playing, just enjoy the intimacy of this moment, and in about 3 minutes I'll be back to present to you a very, very special couple.